Uh-oh. Uh-oh. There's no point in recording this actually because I don't think we're doing a show unless you guys have 3 questions you wanna ask me really quickly. I'm toying with this idea that if you have 3 questions that, like, totally excite my, what's the word I'm looking for? Brain, then maybe we could do a show. Mostly I don't think we're going to, though. John McKee showing up with the roll call because he's like that. "How's your arm, John? Please tell me, because I wanna know." We got Hank, and I'm not kidding. We got Hank. Just got your email, Hank. Yes, you're right. It was, they don't know. Here's what I never understood. Paul McCartney is in that video. Why is that, Hank? Do you know that? Got Hank, Eugene, Roger, Matthew, John. John, of course, in the house. Got Gary. Webb Bixby is here. Brian, Donna, Leah, and Amy. That is the roll call. Sore arms, slight fever, fatigue. I'm sorry about that, John. So I said we're not doing a show today. I'm just going to riff a tiny bit. I'm not even like, all right. So there are like 4 things going on. I say 4. I just drew a number out of the air. I mentioned on this show a couple of weeks ago. Hello, Bill. You're here just in time. Hello, Rob. You're also here just in time. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, John. John says he just woke up. You woke up for this? Dude, I wish I had known because I would have woken you up and told you to go back to sleep. Huh? Just you and me today shooting the proverbial breeze. There we go. Yeah, it's an old video, Hank. I know it from when I was in high school. It was the first time we heard of Tracy Ullman, I think, and then she started doing the comedy thing. First time we heard of her on this side of the pond. Anyway, right. Let me finish one of these thoughts. I think I mentioned on this show a couple of weeks ago that there's something going on with my arm. And I don't know what's going on with my arm, but I'm finally going to have to break down and go to the doctor because I can't sleep. Because I wake up in the middle of the night in pain because I'm laying on my arm, or I'm just like, I can't even find a good angle for it. I don't know if I tore something. I don't know if it's because I spend all of my time hunched over either my computer or my phone, but it's gotten a lot worse over the past week, which is why earlier this week, there was a show that was just no show because I'm having trouble focusing. And that's not your problem. I'm just telling you one of the things that's going on. Because I can't get my head together today. And then also, there is a wonderful thing going on in my life, but it is also creating a bit of not upheaval, not confusion, but it's going to change things. I'm not sure if I mentioned on this show. I think I have a couple of times as well. My special lady friend has been out of work for Jiminy Christmas, 10 months, I think. And, there was a severance package, and there was also, other things that she was doing. There was some of the COVID relief. I mean, there's been a lot of things that kept us, able to keep going the way we were and the way we are. A lot of that is support from, I know some people in this room are supporters on Patreon. Certainly, my work did not end up being affected last year, which is amazing, honestly. And that is props to, I mean, doing a daily show for 15 years has something to do with it, but there are also the people at Backbeat Media. There's the fact that people keep listening. And I also work, we talked about this on one of these shows before. I try to make sure that the advertisers who come to the show are actually quality products, things that I can get behind. Even if I don't use them, I look into them and make sure that, like, okay, this seems like a good thing. It is well reviewed. It's well respected. It's something that can actually help people. I turn away a lot of stuff because I want to make sure that, it's fine. All of which is to say the last year has been fine, but it's been unsteady. It's been uncertain. Now, the good news is my special lady friend got a new job. She starts her new job on Monday, but I'm talking to you from what used to be her home office. So I don't know what next week is like. So I don't think we're doing this next week, partly because I just kind of need to figure out what the heck's going on with my arm. And also, there's going to be a lot of change next week. There's going to be a reappropriation of household chores and duties, I would imagine, because she's going to be expected to be showing up for Zoom calls and whatever, yeah, at certain times of day for certain times of day, where we used to be able to slot things around and do things differently. We're going to need to take some time to figure out what that's going to be. I would imagine over the course of the first 2 or 3 days, we're going to have some idea of how things are going to go, and then I can figure out if 3:30 in the afternoon is still going to be the best time to do this, or if I need to set up in another part of the house to do this. Also, I could probably just use, a tiny bit of time off from one of the 4 shows that I do. Um, so I don't think we're doing this next week, which will bum me out because I love this part of my day. I love hanging out with you guys, and talking to you guys, and I'll still be available by email. And of course, I'll still be doing Mac OS Ken. I'll still be doing In a Few Minutes. Mike Rose joining us next week on In a Few Minutes. That's always a fun time. I'll be doing the checklist as well. I'm sorry there's no show today. Now, I did get a couple of emails from people about the stuff that we were talking about yesterday. And the thing is, one of them I don't feel like I can talk about because it divulges a bit of information. And the other one didn't feel quite like the same thing that we were talking about. I can talk about that one briefly. Donna was saying, Donna, who's here in the chat room, was saying that she worked in at a school where she basically had a shift, and the first hour of her shift was opening and getting things ready. The last hour of her shift was closing and getting things taken care of, and then in the middle of the day she had a lunch hour. So it was an 8-hour day plus an hour for lunch, but she was only customer facing for 6 of those 8 hours. And then she got a new boss who thought that she should be customer facing for 8 or 9, I guess, of those 8 hours because lunch was just supposed to be at her desk, I think. And then when she was like, what about all the prep stuff? And her boss was like, well, you come in early and you do that, but unpaid. That's kind of awful. It's not overly surprising because I can see, even though the place that she worked is not a small business exactly, it seems to sort of have a small business mindset. Opposite of that is Apple, saying on a corporate level. But it's like we were talking about yesterday. Somebody was saying that they worked at an amusement park where that was just sort of a regular thing, and whatever. Anyway, I got emails back. I appreciate it. It didn't quite feel like something I could do today. But I think part of that thing with today too is all the change that's coming, and also just the fact that I have not slept well all week long, which I can pull together for Mac OS Ken because it's writing and reading as opposed to sitting here talking like a normal person, which I know I'm not doing right now. So I guess that's it, really. I'm going to see what you guys are talking about over there. And if anybody has any questions, I'm open. Is there a doctor in the house? Not this one, Webb, but I'll call somebody and I'll see somebody and it'll be taken care of, I assume. Happy Hour Friday. See, I like that idea, Matthew. If I didn't have other stuff that I had to do, because this is how bad it is. You guys know I go shopping on Thursday. I didn't go shopping last night because I was just like I was a crispy flaming mess last night. So I have to go today, which means no drinking for me until, whatever. Maybe I need a mattress company as a sponsor. I've actually got no, the mattress is good. I've got a Casper, which used to be a sponsor, and they're a good mattress. Oh, thanks, Bill. I will tell her. I didn't know what you were talking about with SLF. I'm like, what is that? It's Special Lady Friend. Yeah. Don't you love us anymore? Oh, you're assuming. Of course I do. Congrats on her new job. Yeah, right. I'm very excited about that, actually. without giving away too much because it's not my story. I mean, she's been looking the whole time and was willing to settle for a job that she didn't really care about. And what's amazing is this company instead found her, and they all had a discussion. And you go in with a certain amount of optimism, certainly, but it sounds like a perfect fit. So obviously, we're hoping for the best. Bill says, "That's wonderful. I'm glad, Bill." Bill says that he is stoked to hear that the Wheel of Stuff has been renewed for the foreseeable future. You know what we could do? We could spin it off into its own show. I don't think it's quite that good. Da, 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 da. Ha! Thanks, Bill. I appreciate that. Bill says I present both fine and normal. Cool. Yeah, sorry, Paul. You got here just in time to hear that there's no show. Derek, you also got here in time to hear that there's no show. Apple stores might be opening. You know what stinks? Apple stores, John, did you hear about this? I guess it was what's his name? Michael Stieber. Yeah, they were open for I think a total of 48 hours, and then they had to close a couple of them again for a day or two. I can't imagine the decisions that go into we're going to open for a bit, we're going to close for a bit. Anyway, with you guys gone next week, who am I going to brag about getting my COVID vaccine this Sunday? It's a good question, Eugene. You can send me an email and I'll let everybody know. You know what I found out the other day? Actually, I'm next round. I had assumed that I would be the last person. So in the household, there are a couple of people who are under 18. There's somebody who's 9 years younger than me, and then there's me. And I just found out the other day I'm like apparently in the next round. I have to start paying attention. I assumed it was going to be June or July before I could get that because I think of myself as 30 something. I'm not, but I think of myself that way. And so then, yeah, the SLF was looking on the. I'm gonna start calling her that to her face now. The SLF was looking on the chart the other day, and she's like, "Yeah, you're up." So yeah, that's kind of funny. Matthew says in Soviet Russia, job find you. Apparently in Southern California as well. Sorry, apparently the SLF is listening to this right now because she just sent me a message about whether or not she's cool being called that. Donna, you're not getting your shot next Tuesday. You're getting your shot the Tuesday after that. Because you're getting your shot on the 16th of March, which you said yesterday, which I remember because that's a sort of a special day in my life for reasons I will not disclose. Oh, that's sad. Roger says Texas is so behind they're still on 1A and 1B. I don't even know what all that means. Apparently I'm 1C. But I don't know if I'm 1C tier 2 or something like that, which by the way, I think you just be up to letter G at that point. If you're like 1C tier 2, that's F, I guess. Because that would be 6, right? Yeah, whatever. Oh, wow. Thank you, Bill. I appreciate that. Bill Robinson said something very nice, and you can read that in the comments because I'm not going to repeat it. uh, John says, didn't the government announce that everyone could get the shot by May? I want to say that what Biden said was that they anticipated being able to vaccinate everyone by May. I don't know that that's like an official And here's the plan. I know that between the Defense Production Act and with Johnson and Johnson coming online and the deal that he worked or that he facilitated between Johnson and Johnson and Merck, maybe. Basically, you've got a couple of pharmaceutical companies both working on the J&J vaccine. And of course, the J&J vaccine can also happen by May because it's one vaccine, not two. So yes, that does shorten the timeline considerably, especially if you can get that one into super production, right? So hopefully, yeah. 1C tier 2 sounds like a seating thing at a concert. It seems close, but really isn't when you get there. That's awesome. God, didn't you love that? And I used to look at the thing and I'd be like, "Oh, I'll pick out that seat because it looks really close." And it turns out you're behind like 90 rows of other people. Merc, it almost looks like you're playing a drinking game, Webb. Merc. All right, guys. Yeah. So macOS Ken will still be there next week, like I say, and we'll do this again. We'll start doing this again. I don't know in what capacity. I don't know what way. And even if we can only do it for another week before I'm like, so we can't do this anymore, we'll do this for at least another week. Not next week, but the week after. And honestly, I anticipate that, everything will sort of be back to normal at that point, and then we'll start going again the way we were before. I apologize for not having a regular show today. I'm sorry about next week. It's going to serve everybody better, though. So there you go. If I say I love you, it might sound a little Hollywood, but I can't tell you how much I appreciate doing this. And I'll miss you this part of the day. And I'll see you in a little over a week. And then, of course, I'll be doing the other stuff. So, rock on. Talk to you soon.